Fight News Australia. I'm with Jimmy the Brute Crute. Jimmy, how you doing, mate?
Very well, man. I'm just ready to go.
Now, we've spoken before about your fight career, and you've dreamed of this day since you were 12 years old. Now that you're finally here, how does it feel?
Not letting anything get to me at the moment. I'm not even thinking about anything except for my job I have to do on Sunday.
We also spoke about the fact that you were working in a trade. You've been able to put all that stuff behind you now, is that correct?
Yeah, this is my first fight of my career where I haven't had to work full time. So I feel refreshed. I'm not a zombie. I normally feel like a zombie this far, like about a few weeks out from work and training. I feel fresh as.
Have you been training a lot more, putting more hours in, or is it more time to recover that has been beneficial to you?
More time to recover. I was training enough while I was working full time, and that's why I was so tired. It's just more time to recover now.
Does it feel like a big weight off your shoulders?
Yeah, for sure. It's a good life now. Yeah. It's always been a good life, but it's a better life.
Living the dream. So you're fighting Paul Craig. He's had 4 fights in the UFC. A lot of guys don't, on debut they'll fight another 1-0 or a debutant. Do you feel like having this challenge is ultimately beneficial to your career?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Having such a great opponent always drives you a bit more just to get that extra rep out. But I'm motivated anyway. I don't care if the guy I was fighting had never fought before. I'd be training my ass off either way. So yeah, it's a little bit of an extra push, but it doesn't matter because if you're fighting in the UFC, you better come prepared. You should be a professional and you should be ready for anything.
What do you make of Paul Craig's skills? Have you watched a lot of tape? Is it something you do, or is it something you leave to your coaches?
I watch a bit of tape here and there. I leave most of the watching to Sam and Stu because they're the masterminds of my game plans. They tell me what to do. But yeah, I know what he does well and I know what he doesn't do well. So I'm ready. I've got a really good game plan. I've got a good plan B. Whatever happens, I'm going to be ready.
The fact that you've gone 5 rounds a few times in your career and this is only a 3-round fight, does that make you feel a lot better going into it?
Right. 3 rounds, no problem. You've seen me go 5 rounds at a high pace, I go 3 rounds with my eyes closed.
And you've been fighting professionally for only 2 years, so to get into the UFC only 22 years old, it is quite quick. What do you put that down to?
Just willing to fight anyone. I never picked easy fights. I always challenged myself. I always tried to get the next guy above me or the next guy. I started my career, the first guy I fought was 12-5. Who does that? Me. So that's why I'm here because I risked it to get where I am today.
When you were on Dana White's Contender Series, he said that you were his favourite fighter that night. How does it feel to get massive props from the UFC boss?
It's pretty cool. Like Dana obviously says what he thinks. He doesn't sugarcoat much. So to get good praise from him was incredible. He's done a lot for the sport. The sport wouldn't be where it is today without him. So to have someone like that give you good praise, it's nice. I'll take it, and then I'll move on to bigger and better things.
What was that whole process like going to Las Vegas and being on the show? Was it different from all your fights before that have been on Hex? How was it different?
It was different, but it wasn't. A fight's a fight at the end of the day. I was more nervous, say, and it was higher stakes. But a fight's a fight. Once you get in there and you throw 1 or 2 punches, you settle in. You go, okay, take a deep breath. This is what I have to do. It took me a little bit longer to settle in on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, but that's because I just wanted to knock him out so bad. I've learned from that, and I'll be more cerebral and calm and collected this time around.
So you think there's a main thing you have to focus on, not get sucked into a brawl and listen to the coaches and be more technical to ensure you get the win on Sunday?
I'll get the win either way, but I can get the win cleanly or I can get it in a dogfight. I'd rather get it cleanly. I'd rather send a message to the rest of the division.
Who were some of the main training partners you had specifically for this camp?
Brought in a bunch of guys. Brought in a BJJ guy called Lincoln Hancock. He's amazing. He's winning Pan Pacifics left, right and centre and just an animal off his back. Daniel Kelly, as always. I know Paul tries to use his judo, mate. This guy doesn't realise I'm training with a 4-time Olympian at judo. Ben Sassoli, as always. If I could take what Ben Sassoli is throwing, I'd take anything. I don't care who throws what at me. And Cal Potter, just everyone. Jake Matthews is also on the card. Yeah, we've got some really good guys coming out and moving around.
How hard does Ben Sassoli hit?
Fuck, fucking hard. Fucking hard. He's the hardest hitter I've ever sparred, ever fought, or ever. Yeah.
Just in terms of training in Australia, we've got a lot of good guys coming through, and you mentioned, my colleague mentioned some of Dana's favourites, Izzy and Rob. So what do you think? What are your thoughts on training in Australia? Are you always going to stick around in Australia?
Yeah. People make the mistake of thinking you have to go overseas to get everything. Australia has everything, and Australia has good everything. You just have to be prepared to drive here and there to get to it. Yeah. Australia doesn't have really everything in the one place, but you have to just drive around, get everything you need, and then we all do that, and then meet back 3 times a week and spar or wrestle, and just bring everything we've worked on back.
And what do you think about the fight scene here in Australia and New Zealand?
It's growing. It's only getting bigger. I think I've said it about 1,000 times. We're going to take over. We look at these guys up here. This is the most lively the sport has ever been here, and it's only growing by the day.
And after this match, what are your thoughts? What's next?
Melbourne, Feb 10.
Best of luck, brother. Enjoy it and take it all in.